Now we're gonna go over the buttons, levers, and knobs on this machine. First things first, this is gonna be the headstock, and this headstock contains the speed knobs of the chuck, feed for your auto feed, and in order to use it, all you have to do is kind of just press forward and just rotate it to whatever line you want it. And sometimes when it doesn't go in, all you have to do is just rotate the chuck and wait for it to pop out. And same as this right lever, it kind of just changes to what number you want. And for feed, we'll go over that later when we're running the machine. And then on this side, there's the spindle. We also have the chuck guard. And on the spindle, we have these square holes for your chuck key. And whenever you're using this chuck key and you're putting your material inside of it, after you put your material and close it, make sure you have this chuck key in your hand, not inside the chuck. This is a very dangerous tool. These safety guards sometimes don't work. And if your chuck key is in there and you turn the machine on, it will fly, and it's very dangerous. So anytime you're using a chuck key, just make sure your hand is on it all times. And then we're gonna go onto the saddle or apron area. And what we have is a tool post where it holds your tools. This one's gonna be a facing or a turning tool. And all you have to do is just put it in the dovetail and close it. This is going to be your compound movement, which is where you do your angles. This is going to be your X movement, and in order to go forward, it's just clockwise, and in order to go backwards, it's counterclockwise. This is going to be your Z movement. So counterclockwise is going towards the spindle, and clockwise is going away. This is your auto feed knob, and this is also your turn on knob. And whenever it's on, this auto feed, once it's pushed up, depending on the selection that you chose, it'll move to whatever direction you want. And then when we go down, when we go to this brake right here, you can stop it as an emergency stop. Or when you're running and you're ready and you want the spindle to automatically stop, it'll just stop for you. And then we're gonna come over to this right side. And this is called the tailstock. And what the tailstock is meant for is to do any drilling, tapping, center drilling, reaming, or even just holding your part closer and more stable onto the spindle. So in order to use it, towards the spindle is clockwise, and then away from the spindle is counterclockwise. This lever right here stops the tailstock from moving, and then this lever right here stops this from moving as well.
Okay.
So now we're going to talk about the DRO. The DRO is called digital readout. This is how we tell where the tool is according to the part itself. And we'll go over that while we're running a part. It'll tell you in inches, millimeters, absolute, incremental, and yeah.